I'm Nina and you're with Nina Cooks. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm starting today a new series and it's gonna chronicle my days in ICE, which is the Institute of Culinary Education. So it's gonna follow my journey, and every day I hope to make a video about what I did at ICE and how I want to pass on this knowledge to you who might not come all the way to New York City to attend culinary school and might just want to learn some things in the comfort of your home. So I hope you like this series and continue to follow me. So hit the subscribe button if you want to, keep updated on the new videos that come out every week. So today I want to talk to you about my first day at ICE and fundamentals of cooking in a professional kitchen. And then I want to introduce the equipment that they had given us today. And this is equipment that we'll use throughout the course, and something if you want to follow along with me, you might want to have ahead of time. And so if you check out the descriptions, I have linked all the equipment to an Amazon site that sells them. And so you can directly purchase it there if you don't already have it. Some of the things you might already have, so you don't need to purchase it at all. So just follow along, and then maybe you'll learn some of the names of the equipment that you had no idea. For example, this one, if you know what this is, it has an actual name. Like, stay tuned to find out what it's actually called. I also didn't know. But first I wanted to talk about some of the important aspects of being in a professional kitchen. And then the first one is cleanliness is godliness. So you always want to wear something clean. Your uniform should always be clean. There should be no food clinging to your chef's jacket. You change your aprons every day, hopefully to keep it clean. We are given 5 aprons, so you can interchange that 5 days of the week. We also have towels, and the towels are more used to holding hot objects than they are to cleaning. We have like white towels to do around the kitchen, but basically leaving the kitchen as you found it, if not cleaner than you found it. So we have classes going on after hours. So, keeping your station clean, cleaning up after yourself, and making sure there's good hygiene and sanitation in the kitchen, because we are dealing with food and sanitary. We want to keep things sanitary. So in terms of arrival, so being 10 minutes early is arriving on time. So being on time means you're late. So there's this aspect of we want to be sitting down at least no later than 10 minutes before class starts. So if my class starts at 7, I should be there at 6:50. So attendance and tardiness is really key in the course as well as in the restaurant industry. And in terms of what are the don'ts that a chef should not do, right? So number 1, and I did not know this until I went to class today, is no nail polish. So nail polish, including just regular nail polish or gel nail polish, is toxic. So if by chance your nails chip or it touches your food, you're imbuing like toxins into the food, and that's a big no-no. Alongside of that, no false eyelashes, which could fall into the food. Again, cleanliness. No dangling earrings or jewelry that could potentially get caught on equipment. So no jewelry except for maybe studs, and wedding bands are okay, so you can wear that in there. And in terms of the uniform that we wear every day, so before class starts, we should already have on us like our chef's hat, chef's jacket, our apron, 2 towels, black loose pants. And we wear loose pants because you don't want any material touching your skin in case there's like an oil spill and it gets on your pants. At least it will be touching your skin directly, and that mitigates some risks that you have in the kitchen. We also wear black plastic toe covering shoes. That is also to mitigate spills and injuries to your foot. So definitely no mesh, nothing tight. You don't want to wear leggings or jeans or anything that's like touching your skin in the kitchen. So definitely wearing loose pants is a good thing in the kitchen. All right, So without further ado, let's get started on our equipment. And we have a lot in front of us. Don't worry, I will go through every single one of them. You might not remember all of them, but feel free to just check out the descriptions down below for a list, and as you go through each and every single one of them, or like I will also put in the video timers of when I talk about specific categories of equipment. So I'll go over like spoons, and stirring equipment, to measurements, equipment, to just like random things along the way. But I will try to go in sections, so then if you are like, oh, what was that thing that she was talking about, you'll kind of remember what section I talked to them about, and then you can just like rewatch it to find out what it is, what's the name, do you have it, do you not have it, and then you can just buy it. All right, let's get started. Like I said, let's start with the spoons and the stirs, things like that. So here we have kitchen spoons. So these are 15-inch long spoons. This is a slotted spoon, and this is like regular spoon. So basically they're used to as spoons in the kitchen, as you know. In addition to that, we have a high heat kitchen spoon. So this one is made from plastic. You typically see wood in the past, but since then they have converted to plastic for sanitation reasons. Again, wood tends to be porous, so bacteria could get stuck on there, and it's not very clean. It's harder to clean, to keep sanitary. So wooden plastic spoon is the way to go now. And also this is a high heat, like heat resistant spoon, so using it in like hot boiling pans and things like that is okay, but do not put it on direct heat, it will melt. Here we have ladles. So these are to scoop up sauces, stocks, anything that's liquid. And the good thing about these is they're actually measuring cups themselves in a way, because this is a 1 ounce ladle and this is a 2 ounce ladle. So if you're like, oh, I need like 2 ounces of stock, so you scoop it up and then you put it into one of these sauce cups, and you kind of just 2 ounce to 2 ounce. These are also 2 ounces, so you kind of just pour that in. So I have 12 of these, and they're really good for putting any ingredients that you need to prep for your recipe, like ginger, onions, scallions, whatever you need. You can put it into these little sauce cups and put it next to you when you're ready to use them. So prep work, these will come in handy a lot. And then we have these just like sauce spoons. They're used to like scoop up maybe sauces into the plate, spreading it around. They're not actually used for tasting in our classroom, at least, because we have plastic spoons used for that, where you can just use it once, throw it out. I know, not very environmentally friendly, but at least it's sanitary, right? So all right, and then last but not least, out of like the spoons, I would say you have these like tiny little, they could be spoons, except they have holes in them, and that's for a reason, because these are melon ballers. So you go in, you scoop up a ball of melon, and then you start to make like cute little melon balls with these. So super cute. Okay, and you see here, as you're all familiar, this is a sieve. This is called a conical mesh, so like cylindrical, conical shaped, and this is an 8-inch, used to, filter liquids from your food. Okay, let's move on, shall we, to the spatulas. So we have here a fish spatula or a fillet spatula, and this one is used, like the name suggests, to scoop up fish fillet, because they tend to be a little bit more delicate than meat, and so you need a delicate scraper spatula to kind of lift them off so that they're intact. So they also have these openings here to also allow like very delicate non-stick type of adhesion to here. So That's why I believe why it has openings, but don't quote me on it. If you know what it is, put it in the comments and correct me. I'd really appreciate it. Here we have what is known as an offset spatula, and the reason they got the name is because it has a little curve or offset away from your handle, and then this is flat so that you can put your hand and then you can like scrape up things easily. And this is 10-inch and a 4.5-inch, so a much bigger one used for different, same thing. This is an offset spatula as well. All right, so in terms of more spatulas, this is a heat resistant or high heat spatula, so you can use this when you're cooking in your saute pan or in whatever pot you need to, you know, stir things around. You can use these high heat spatulas. I have this just every day, just as a non-chef, so you're probably familiar with it. Okay, so I think I went through all the spatulas. We're gonna move on to like the scrapers. So here we have a bowl scraper. So I don't really own this, but I find that it basically do similar things as a spatula, but it just basically like helps scrape the bottom of your bowls if you need to get like more things off your bowl. So this is a bowl scraper. And this you might think is also a scraper, and you would be correct. This is a bench scraper, so used to clean your bench stations. You're scraping things off, maybe things got stuck on there, sugar, whatever, you just want to scrape it off your station. So a bench scraper. Okay, let's go to the measurements. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to mention these cute little tweezers in front of me. So this is a fishbone tweezer. It's to go and pick out fish bones. If you ever watch cooking shows and you have like people doing this, they're picking out bones so people don't choke on bones. And then you have a curved tweezer here. This curved tweezer is more, I guess, for garnishes, things that are more delicate. You need to like place onto your plate, you know. I tend to use chopsticks for this because I don't really own a tweezer in my own kitchen. But you know, this is a lot easier to use for the masses than chopsticks. Although, you know, chopsticks are pretty good if you are really good at it. So these are curved tweezers. Okay, so let's talk about measurements, equipment that helps you determine the temperature of your food. So this is a candy thermometer, aka a deep fry thermometer. They're used to basically measure, like if you're making candy or you're making fried food and the oil goes up to a really high temperature, this tells you what that temperature is, and the maximum temperature it goes up to is 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. And the perfect thing is it has a little clip here, so you can clip it to the side of your pot, and look, the angle keeps it away from the edge of the pan, so you have a more accurate reading of what is the actual temperature of your pan or your pot. Right, very useful equipment to have. And then here we have a digital thermometer. So this is a deep fry. This is a digital one. This one, if you see when I open it, has a needle. So this needle allows you to put your thermometer inside like a piece of meat, like steak or chicken or lamb, to tell you what is the internal temperature of meat. And you know, I know this from my personal experience, is every meat has a internal temperature that needs to be reached in order for it to be sanitary, or you know, okay to eat without the potential of bacteria still remaining in it. Or parasites. So this allows you to kind of know for sure if your meat is cooked properly, and it won't cause any issues for whoever consumes it. So digital thermometer, a must-have in any kitchen. Highly recommend you get one. And they're not expensive either. All right, so let's move on to like more, I guess we can talk about these measuring spoons and measuring cups. So you probably already have this in your kitchen. So these are just teaspoon, quarter teaspoon, half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, and a tablespoon. And this is quarter a cup, a third of a cup, half, and a full cup measurement. These are used for dry material, and so, you know, measuring flour and spices and salt, you can use this. And another thing I wanted to mention here is on mine, it actually tells you how much it is in metric system. So this says 1 tablespoon is 15 milliliter, and what that means is, like, I see a quarter cup is 60 milliliter. That means 4 tablespoons is a quarter cup, right? That's the conversion. 15 times 4 is 60. So roughly you have 4 tablespoons. Maybe that'll come in handy later on when you're cooking something and you're like, where is my, cup? Or where's my quarter cup, or where's my tablespoon? Maybe interesting fact for you there. Okay, now in terms of weight, so we have a scale. This is a precision scale. This one means that you can use it to go down very, very low amounts. I think this one goes to 0.01 gram, how precise that is. And the max capacity is about 100 grams. So this allows you to say, like, oh, I just want, 1 gram, and you probably wouldn't get an accurate reading on this other digital scale because the minimum is 1 gram. Or I guess 0.1 gram you can use on here, but it's really, really hard to get an accurate 1 gram reading on a digital scale. But you probably have seen this around, but this one is something that you don't typically see around, but could definitely come in handy. Okay, so that's the list of measurement related categories that I wanted to talk about. Now I want to talk about these grating and peeler. This is a grater, or aka microplane. I was told that it could be referred to as a microplane because that's sometimes what typically they buy the brand, so grater, microplane. And this is a peeler, European style, used to peel your potatoes, your carrots, your zucchinis. This is for ginger and cheese and lemon zest, zesting and peeling, right? Useful to have around. Oh, I forgot to mention, these sauce cups, also called a mise en place, or mise, which in French apparently just means in its right place. So it's like, yeah, when you need it, it's there for you. When you prepped your ingredients, it's there for you when you need to press it. So mise en place, mise cup. Okay. Here, let's move on to something maybe they call, like, more familiar with, like, pastry. So we have these pastry brushes, to maybe brush on oil, butter to your dough, or to your pastry. So like egg white wash, you want to brush it on. So these are 1 inch and 2 inch pastry brushes. And then this, probably seen this a lot. These are piping tips. So piping tips are used with a piping bag, which they don't provide for us, but you put some sort of ingredients in your piping bag, like a whipped cream or like cake dough, things like that, chocolate, anything like that can allow you to like pipe it out in a very uniform way. So this is a number 2, a number 6, and a star-shaped piping tip. All right. Oh, this is very, this looks like a toy. Let me show you. So this is called a classic knife cut visual model set. And if you can see, this one has these like plastic shapes attached to this card. And these are actually shapes that have names to them. So very familiar with dicing, so a large dice. This is a medium dice. This is a small dice. And then you have fine julienne, bâtonnet, fine brunoise. They're all in French because probably taken from classic French cooking, right? A tournée is what we're gonna make potatoes into. So yeah, these are like sample models that we want to make cuts so that they match this exactly, so that we get, you know, very even cuts. Everything is the same, right? Yeah, so this is just a model of how your cuts should look like. And this is the cute little models. In here I also have just like itself without the model on it, just to show you like what is the proper size. And then it also comes with a card with more types of cuts and their names. So here I'm seeing like ribbons, ripple, and crown. All the names are like concasse, oblique, short julienne, sliver. I'm sure we will learn all of this. Oh look, I have this classic potato cuts. Straw potato, matchstick, French fries, and steak fries. I hope we get to cook them and use this little thing in the future, but definitely stay tuned and see what I learn in class, and like I'm gonna try to demonstrate it when I get home. So I hope you come back, and I hope you subscribe and like this video to show your support and show that you want to see more videos like it. Alright, so what I haven't mentioned, and you probably know what this is a whisk, a medium-sized whisk. This one is a pepper mill. Pepper mill where you put whole black pepper into, and then you just turn the top to grate pepper into, and this is all preferred over any pre-grounded pepper, because pepper that's been freshly grounded has that peppery taste. It's a lot more pungent, a lot more flavorful, and you need less of it to get what you need. And then to refill this, and you're probably familiar, is you just twist this knob at the top, you lift up the cap, and you fill it with your black pepper inside. Once you do that, you just cap it back on and you're ready to use your pepper mill. Awesome. All right, now coming to this thing that I mentioned at the start of my video. I hope you didn't try to look up what this is and you stayed tuned, and you're gonna be rewarded for it because this is called a reamer. Yes, why? I don't know. I can find out, but this is a reamer, and a reamer is used to juice lemons and limes, so it helps loosen the pulp, squeeze out the juice, and comes really in handy, right? You have these little grooves and something sharp at the top to kind of penetrate into the fruit itself and get the juice that you want. So this is a reamer, something that out of all the things that was introduced to me today, I did not know what the name was. You kind of sort of guess like, oh yeah, this is a fish spatula or a fillet spatula, right? Like, yeah, we don't really use it, but now you kind of like, you can guess what it is, but no idea why a reamer, right? Okay, I'm gonna clean this all up and bring my knife set over so we can talk about knives now, right? So like I said, this is the most important equipment you need to have as a chef, and we were fortunate enough to get the best. So Zwillen is the German brand that associated with Henkel's. So let's get started. Before we go into the knives, I wanted to show everyone this Whetstone that we were given. So I was told that keep this at home. One, because this is heavy and you don't want to carry it around, because we literally have to carry all our equipment with us to school every single day. So I have a backpack, and they've given us a backpack to do that. But this is the one thing and the only thing that we are allowed to keep at home from our equipment. And the second thing is because we would need to sharpen our knife every single day. And in order to do that, we can't do that in class because we're just so busy in class. So we need to do that at home. So this is the only thing we keep at home. I've I've never had a lot of opportunities to use it, so this will be a learning experience. I guess I will be doing a lot of knife sharpening tutorials here on forward. As I sharpen it, I will put it on camera and see my progression in terms of using a whetstone. So stay tuned in the future for that. All right, let's start with the shears. So scissors, these are kitchen stainless steel shears for cutting food and anything you need to cut, or bones, sometimes like fish bones. I don't know, like I'm sure there's a lot of opportunities for using these scissors. Okay, now let's move on to the knives. So we were given 6 knives. So I'll start with the small ones. This is called a bird's beak knife. This is a bird's beak nest. Bird's beak knife. Okay, all right, say that really fast 10 times. All right, so the reason it's called that is because of the shape of this knife. It looks like a bird's beak. This is what I've been told we'll use to tourne our potatoes, right? Get in that cylindrical, hexagonal, polygon shape that we showed earlier in the knife model set. So bird's beak knife. And we get this knife guard, so this helps you keep the knives sharp and also keeps danger, mitigate risk. You won't hurt yourself when you're taking out your knife, so always put the knife, clean it, make sure it's dry, because it will rust if you keep it wet. So clean it, dry it, and then put it back in the guard. All right. Next one, we're gonna do a paring knife. So this one is, you can use it for small, fine dices, but usually it's for cutting like garnishes or like fruits when you have to like cut it really finely. So a paring knife. It's a 3.5 inch paring knife. I'm sure I'll learn more information and we'll use this, and just stay tuned to see like how we use it. So having a paring knife, also important. It's in that description under the knife section. So if you don't already have these knives, you can certainly purchase them. And you don't have to buy the most expensive ones since we're just starting out. All right, this is our chef's knife, an 8-inch chef's knife. This one is not Zuling, it's Miyabi is the brand. It's made in Japan. This is the most important knife that a chef can have, because this is used for meats and vegetables and you know, anything and everything under the sun you can use this chef's knife for. So, and this is probably definitely the one we'll be using our whetstone on every single day. All right, let's put this back in its knife guard. And we'll move on to the boning knife. So this one, and let me just open this one for comparison. So why do we have 2 boning knives? Well, this one is more for meats, and it's a lot less flexible, number one. So this is to get around like lambs or pork ribs, things that, you know, have like, you really need to cut through the meat, versus this one is more for like fish, when you're like filleting a fish. So this is called a fillet knife, and this like a boning knife, even though you can both call them boning knife. And this one, sometimes you might need to like get rid of like fish bones, so you kind of like use that around it. It's a lot more flexible, so if you see, like it actually bends more. This one does not have any give. Last but not least, we have our bread knife. So, it's called a bread knife or a serrated knife, because you have the serrated edges, which helps to cut like, you know, more porous, more delicate substances like bread, cake, pastry, maybe, you know, also you want to use this one. And a note for cutting pastries, you definitely want to wipe it down between the different cuts because a lot of sugar and molasses and whatever is going to stick to your knife if you're using it to cut pastries. So definitely want to wipe that down before your second cut, or like cakes and stuff. I'm super excited. I'm so glad you guys are watching, you guys are here and coming along with me and my journey as a culinary student in New York City. All right, thanks so much for watching. Please come back tomorrow. Please subscribe, tell your friends, tell people who might even be interested in ice to come in themselves to be a student. So all the teachers are amazing. I got to meet the owner, Rick. I got to meet our dean, our assistant dean. Like, everyone came in to class today to say hi, and they were super friendly. So I'm really excited for what the next few months have installed, and I'm super excited especially for my externship, which is a 2-month long, basically I work in a kitchen, like an actual restaurant in their kitchen, and I get to experience what it's like in a professional setting and to figure out if that's the career path or it's just something that, you know, you get to experience in my lifetime because of my passion for cooking. All right, I hope to see you back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day, and yeah, see you. Good night.